Hi everyone, this is Arcadius and welcome back to Naval. Today we'll be reviewing the next French battleship, that being Lyon, and she has a kind of special place in Naval Creed because she has the most guns fitted on a battleship, that being 16 guns, or 8, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah, 8 twin turrets arranged in 4 quadruple turrets. So very, very powerful. But she kind of is a giant shotgun. But let's take a look at to see what else we have first. So we have 58,800 health, which is not all that much. 18% torpedo resistance. You have a little, not a lot. Up to 300 millimeters of armor. 360 says for maximum. Belt of 300, so about 12 inches. Honestly, though, you don't have very good armor. You will still be citadeled on the side. You do kind of have an angled turtleback. You can kind of see it. Oh, actually, it's really easy to see here. You can see you have angled armor on the sides. However, it's not nearly thick enough to actually be that effective against large caliber shells. It will help you against cruisers and stuff, but you also have a pretty flat broadside, which means you will still get a ton of chunk of damage. Alright, moving on. You have, like I said earlier, 16 guns. You have 4 in the front, 4 midships, and 8 super firing in the rear. These are 340 mils, so 13 and a halves. At this tier, you're starting to run into 15 and 16-inch guns. So you do have the, pretty sure you actually, yeah, you have the lowest caliber guns. And that will only be different if, like, let's say a Dunkirk or an Andre Dore is up tiered to a tier 7, but they're normally a 6.5. So you don't have the biggest guns, but you have the most guns. And the damages are meh, and the velocities are pretty good. Your range is 19.6 kilometers, and your secondary range is 5 kilometers. We no longer have casemates. We've exited casemates. We have 2 twin right here, and we have 2 quadruple secondaries on each side, and then another twin on each side as well. I don't know what the caliber is. I'm assuming they're similar to the ones on Dunkirk, so maybe something like 5-inch or so. I really don't know. Regardless, they're not all that powerful, and secondary build is not exactly in the ship's manifest. However, she is quite fast at 27 knots. You're not the fastest ship at this tier, always. Gneisenau is, 32 knots, I think? Yeah, so on that level, you're not the fastest, but you do have a speed boost, which can get you a little bit faster. You also have a repair and a damage control. I do have her focus for accuracy versus anything else, mainly because, like I said, she's just a giant French shotgun. That can be fun and all when you're shooting 16 shells at a time, but if you can't hit anything, then it doesn't really mean anything. So I do have her focus for accuracy and rudder enhancement because I like my maneuverability, and disaster retardant because you have too many guns to worry about getting them knocked out. Your secondaries are not really important, and you really don't see any detonations in this game, unfortunately. On a couple specific ships, they're pretty easy to get, but on Lyon, I have never been detonated. So, actually no, we have to look at AA first. Still pretty bad, honestly. A lot better than Normandy, but not enough to win any medals. You can shoot down a couple aircraft, but that's not going to stop you from being attacked. And at this tier, you're seeing Graf Zeppelins, you have Hiryus, Rangers, Aramanche, Ark Royal, Indomitable. Is there any others? I don't think so. Those are the main ones, regardless. So this tier is where they start getting pretty powerful, and you just don't have the AA to deal with that. Alright, so let's toss her into a game and see what we can do. Alright, and here ourselves a game, I hear you, Gnais now, Nagato, Lyon, Nelson, Lyon, Miyoko, Grashpe, Fiji, and Akatsuki. And not really the best map either. I did mess around with this sound a little bit as well, so it may be kind of loud, maybe kind of soft. I will hopefully find a happy medium soon enough. Regardless, it is pretty. So, let's keep going. I do have health buffs and speed buffs applied at this time, so keep that in mind. And we're going to chill out here a little bit until it clears up a bit. Also, this is... Actually, hold on, let me do this first. This is how the stock Lyon looks. You still have all the guns and secondaries, however the superstructure is a lot more limited, as well as your AA defense. And then mine is the fully upgraded one. Alright, so we have a Miyoko. Is that max range? She's pretty much going in a straight line, so why not? Let's try it. And then she turns. But, yeah, we missed. Alright. Let's try again. There we go. So we got a few hits and a fire. The ship is not really good at range though, so let's see if we can get a little bit closer. And then as you can see here, your full broadside angles are not that good, honestly. So let's see if we can work on this nasty a little bit. And then speed buffs applied, I am, what am I, 28.9 knots. And then with speed boost, let's see how far we can go. .1 knots. Yeah, so she can outrun anything that she comes across, including Gnais now. Outrun at least battleships. But yeah, 34.1 knots. This is versus like Nelson and Rodney, 24 knots. You also have Colorado, 21 knots. The only thing that she will not be able to always outrun are Gnais now at 32 knots. So she's pretty fast, but with that comes bad armor, low gun caliber, mediocre secondaries, mediocre AA. As you can see here, most of the time I'm actually just shattering. I'm just trying to get some fires started, but even that I'm not doing very well at. So let's just switch over to armor piercing again. Looks like this Lyon is on the ground, so maybe we can get a little bit of an example of what an armor is like. Yep, a citadel, and just major chunk damage. And then, ooh, that damage got lit up as well. Use the rest of my points on this mechanism. In the broadside, this ship has amazing capability. You just have so many guns that it doesn't matter if they're low caliber, they're still gonna hit. I finally shot down an aircraft. Ooh, I shot down two. The gun rotation is pretty decent. Like I said, I have a focus for accuracy. I do have a couple other buffs applied, but even then, it's still not terrible. I'm going to switch back to high explosive because I have a feeling that as soon as I come around this corner, I'm going to be face to face with a carrier, and so in order to not be focused, I need to light her on fire to make sure she cannot send out aircraft. And we're already starting to be attacked. I've noticed that the sound effects for this game are quite different. There are certain ones you can change, and some that you cannot. For example, I can change the gun sounds, or the volume of the gun sounds, but for when I'm set on fire, or when I actually sink a ship, and that kind of reward sound, I guess you could say, those are not impacted by the volume. It's very intriguing. Also, that was a very good shot on that Hiryu with all, well, 14 out of 16 of my high explosive shells. And I got a Citadel that time as well. And there we go. Alright, now we just have these last two battleships to deal with. As you can see, she is pretty fast. I enjoy the fact that she's a fast battleship. And this just gets better the higher up the line you go. Now, you're not going to get some outlandish number like the 40 knots that I can make with Illinois, but you can still get some pretty fast battleships. My Richelieu, you can either have a gun reload booster or a speed boost. I run it with the reload booster because that's just more fun for me. But I think when I had her with the speed boost, I was actually able to get her past 40 knots, or just about. That was really ridiculous. Right, now I'm just lighting all sorts of fires. Nelson's gonna take some torps. This is another good strategy to use two of your turrets at one time and the others at the other. You can kind of just rotate between them. And Nelson's down. And we should have Nagato down in a second. There we go. I was just about to cap the base too. Alright, so let's see how we did. $181,000 damage, 3 ships sunk, 115 shell hits, 5 aircraft shot down, 2 citadel hits, 8 fires, 1 module destroyed, 1 capped base, 4,400 base XP. 81,000 damage was in high explosive, with a further 45,000 in fires. Only 54,000 was in armor piercing. I didn't really do that much in armor piercing though. Like I said, this is a very good high explosive ship, but you will still get quite a few shatters. And then nothing else. So yeah, she has a lot of guns, low caliber, a lot of speed, low armor, a lot of secondaries, low effectivity or effectiveness, and then some AA, but you don't have the most. So you're kind of focused on, well, what it is the French line is focused on: speed and rate of fire, and number of guns. They may not be the biggest guns or the strongest guns or the most armored ships, but they're almost always the fastest, and they almost always have a lot more guns than normal. With that, I will wrap up today's video. If you like the video, make sure you like and subscribe for further content, and join me tomorrow while we start going into the faster battleships, more modern ones, starting with Gascogna. So thank you for watching, and take care.